Riverworld, a Forge mod for Halo 3 that overhauls Valhalla's Forge world with AI, weaponry, vehicles, and a lot more. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could drop a like and hit that sub button, all that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this mod. Without further ado, let's check out Riverworld. Alright guys, we have arrived on Riverworld, and you can already tell our AR has a little bit of a change here. Different amount of ammo in there, so that's very cool indeed. We got a lot of stuff to cover in this mod showcase, so of course if you guys just want to skip through some of it and, you know, go to the specified part that you want to see, the weapons, the vehicles, the AI, whatever you want to see, there's timestamps in the description down below. You may have already noticed that. So, let's just start it off with the first simple thing here. All that you can already notice, 60 rounds in the AR. We'll showcase all that weaponry stuff in a later time point in this video. But for now, we're just going to check out the vehicles for the first thing to start us off today. So, you will notice the map is a little bit different here. So, first of all, we are able to just fly out of the map. There is no barriers. So we were able to just go around and explore. What the? Wow. Okay, so there's like a lava world under this map. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, this map is absolutely. Oh my, we're dying. I think I'm getting too far out of the map there. But as you can see, we have a Covenant carrier up here. Next up, we're gonna check out the Drivable Bipeds. Now these are actually, you guys were probably a little bit confused when you seen this because you were like, aren't those AI? They're not AI. They are actually Drivable Bipeds. So we'll check them out. So let's just start it off. Let's just go with Romeo, I guess. So you kind of like enter them, and then you become the AI, which is really cool. I mean, if you think about it, because now I'm actually playing as Romeo. I don't think you can actually sprint or even throw grenades. I mean, I don't have grenades equipped anyways, but this is Romeo. It's pretty cool. I mean, you can crouch and do everything. Jump, do everything. Melee, I don't think actually works. Yeah. Melee does not work, unfortunately, but you can shoot and everything, and it's pretty sick, I'm going to be honest with you. And then, when you want to hop out of them, you kind of just hold RB, and then you just stop beating them. So we'll go into, I think this is Mikey with the rocket, which is really sick. I mean, hey, let's fire some rounds off up under the atmosphere here, and just throw them at the Corvette there. I don't think it's going to take any damage. Let's go into Miranda Keys here. So we're Miranda Keys now, and of course we don't have a weapon or anything, so we can't really do much with Miranda Keys, but just walk around. That was a little bit weird of an animation there. No melee, no shooting, no none of that. I mean, it's just literally just her as a character, and you just kind of walk around. I mean, you could use this for some pretty cool, you know, what do you call it? Machinima. I mean, you could do some pretty short film stuff. Next up is, I think this is Buck. Maybe this is the other guy. Don't really remember all their names. I think this is Buck. Then we got Dare next up. So yeah, he's got the Spartan laser there for Buck. Let's go check out the remainder. So this is Dare, obviously. She's got the Halo 3 pistol. ODST, that is. Very cool indeed. And you can just, like I said, you can just become them and you play as them, which is really sick. That's all of the ODST squad there. Now we are Lord Hood. Of course, again, just like Miranda Keys, does not have weapons, does not have melee, doesn't have any of that stuff. You can't even crouch as them. They don't have crouching animations, so you can't really do much with Lord Hood. Next up is just Sergeant Johnson. I mean, I shouldn't say just Sergeant Johnson, because he's an absolute legend. So you can fire really fast with the BR, I noticed, with Sergeant Johnson here. Crouching and standing and jumping, and he does not have melee. But yeah, he can do just about everything. Let's go ahead and actually see. Okay, so we cannot pick up guns or anything as them bipeds there. So let's just go back into Johnson. And let's get into the next character. Alright guys, the next character is Buck. So this is actually Buck. I was missing a guy. I don't remember what that guy's name is. I'm going to be honest with you. But Buck just has an AR. I kind of wish they had helmets. It would have been a little bit more cool if they had helmets and whatnot. But of course they don't. Which is just fine. So let's go ahead and switch out of here. We can actually become a Sentinel, which is very sick. I mean, I am literally a flying Sentinel. I have become Sentinel. You can shoot, damage anything you want. I mean, this is pretty sick if you ask me. You can also boost with the Sentinel as well. Next up is the Brute Chieftain. with, I don't think you can get, yeah, you can only have his fuel rod out. No melee, and no crouch either. Yeah, that is the Brute Chieftain as a drivable AI, or rather just a biped, being able to play as a biped, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and check out the last two character bipeds here. We, of course, got the Hunter. Very cool. We can, of course, use his weapon as well. Let's see, does he have his melee? He does not have his melee. That kind of stinks that you can't use their melee. I mean, that kind of sucks. Get out of the Hunter, and let's go check out Mr. Arbiter. I kind of wish we could be Master Chief, but I guess he's not really a biped, I guess. Wow, so he has a very fast firing weapon here, the Brute Plasma Rifle. Very cool indeed, and he can crouch, and he can stand, but no melee for Mr. Arbiter. That, guys, is concluding all of the drivable bipeds, or characters, or whatever you want to call them. And let's just check everything out. So, obviously, you guys know the elephant. So, you know, this is on Sandtrap, I believe, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, you guys know what the elephant is. It's, of course, drivable here in this Forge World, Forge Palette, rather. Here on Valhalla. Movable, drivable, and everything. And you can also use the chain gun, obviously. You can hop onto here and use the chain gun as well. You guys know what the elephant is. So, let's move on and let's actually check this thing out. So, this is the Wraith Anti-Air. I don't believe this is in the usual Forge palette, as I don't really forge in Halo 3. Let's go ahead and drop in this thing. And this is the Anti-Air one. So, of course, what you can do is just fire left and right with the fuel rod shots, basically. Very cool. Let's check out the next vehicle here. So, of course, we have the Destroyed Warthog. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually in the Forge palette. You can, of course, use the Warthog chain gun here. Very cool. And that is the Destroyed Warthog, which is actually pretty cool that you can actually use it without it, you know, bugging out. You can actually use the chain gun on the back. Next up is the Gold Hawk, and I believe this is just a very fast Warthog, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like it's a little bit faster. I guess you guys can have a sneak peek at what flyable vehicles we're going to be checking out here soon. But yeah, this is the Gold Hog. So this used to be in CE, I believe. Like, that's kind of the lore of the Gold Hog. It was in a CE mod back then. I believe so. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and park this thing. I almost did that perfectly fine. And then next up, we have the ODST Drop Pod. So this is the really cool thing. Let's just go ahead and thrust, maybe? Got it! We're in! Here we go. Boom! Boom! ODST deployed. Now, I actually am an ODST Spartan, so hey, it kind of makes sense. Pretty cool. Next up, we're going to check out the drivable bipeds. Now, these are actually, you guys were probably a little bit confused when you seen this, because you were like, aren't those AI? They're not AI. They are actually drivable bipeds. So we'll check them out. So, let's just start it off. Let's just go with Romeo, I guess. So you kind of like enter them, and then you become the AI, which is really cool. I mean, if you think about it, because now I'm actually playing as Romeo. I don't think you can actually sprint or even throw grenades. I mean, I don't have grenades equipped anyways, but this is Romeo. It's pretty cool. I mean, you can crouch and do everything. Jump, do everything. Melee, I don't think actually works. Yeah. Melee does not work, unfortunately, but you can shoot and everything, and it's pretty sick, I'm going to be honest with you. And then, when you want to hop out of them, you kind of just hold RB, and then you just stop beating them. So we'll go into, I think this is Mikey with the rocket, which is really sick. I mean, hey, let's fire some rounds off up under the atmosphere here, and just throw them at the Corvette there. I don't think it's going to take any damage. Let's move on to the water vehicles. So, at first spot here, we have the dinghy boat. So you can actually just sit in it and actually just move it by just pushing it as a Spartan. You can also slow down, or you can just choose to get back into it and actually drive it, which is not seeming to really work. Oh my god. I just weighed the dinghy boat down by a mile. Alright, let's go ahead and drop out here. Flip dinghy, ride dinghy. Okay, so are we not able to actually drive it? Obviously not. I mean, when you push the thing forward, it kind of drives, but not really. The dinghy boat is kind of questionable on whether it works or not. I'm not really sure. But it's really cool. It's really cool. So, Boat Hog is up next. Let's go ahead and drive this thing around here. So this whole area here, obviously, is able to drive around in these boats. Now, obviously, this is just a remodeled and remade Warthog. I mean, the interior is literally the Warthog, but except it's got, you know, obviously the side pieces here and just all around. It's a boat. Boat hog. There it is. And then, of course, next up, we have the boat hog with the chain gun. I'm actually not even going to drive this one. We're just going to shoot the chain gun on it, which is very cool indeed. So if you have some buddies that can download mods, go ahead and grab them for this mod and play with your buddies, because this would be very fun to do. So, guys, that is all of the drivable vehicles. Let's check out the flyable one. Alright, guys, first off, we have the Phantom. Is it right here? There it is. Pilot Phantom. Alright, here we are. So now we are actually able to fly. And it doesn't seem that we can shoot. Yeah, so we're not actually able to shoot with the Phantom, which is a little bit odd. I figured we would be able to, but we're actually not able to shoot with the Phantom. A little bit odd. I figured we would be able to shoot it, but it's not shootable, apparently. But that is really cool, guys. That is the Phantom. Next up is the Oni Pelican. Now, are we actually able to get into this thing, or we got to get in a special way to be able to fly this thing? There we are. Do we have to get inside of it and then get out? Yeah. Co-pilot. What's co-pilot? Oh, that is cool. So you kind of just sit in the side pocket there. Then you can actually go ahead and hop out. We're able to just sit on the side here and just chill out. Or like I said, you can co-pilot, or you can even pilot the Pelican here. So this is, of course, the Oni Pelican. We'll do a little bit of a loop-de-loop around this structure here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, after we smack into the wall there, is the Oni Pelican. Let's go ahead and hop out. Of course, you just kind of jump out of the window there. A little bit odd, but I mean, hey, that could be pretty useful for, like I said, machinima. Very, very, very useful. Let's go ahead and fly over here. Next up is the transport. So when you actually get into it, of course, it still has its weapons and everything. And its texture's actually glitched out a little bit. But you can also ride on the side if I'm able to actually get it to let me. Okay, maybe not. This thing's a little bit bugged. So the Transport Hornet actually does not let you transport. It actually bugs out and changes it to a normal Hornet. Very odd, very weird. I'm sure that'll be fixed in the next update for this mod. Next up is the weapon Pelican. So let's go ahead and actually enter this thing. And then, of course, that is the weaponless one. And then we'll move on to the AI. So this one you can actually just hop in. I'm not really sure if you can do this, but maybe you can just stand out here and kind of just shoot as your pilot flies you around. So yeah, same thing. Ride, stand inside, co-pilot, and pilot this Pelican. And of course, this is the one that has the weapons. We can go ahead and actually shoot this thing. I'm not even actually going to fly it around because you guys know what this thing is. It's just got a weapon on it, which is very cool. And of course, this is the normal Marines transport Pelican here. No weaponry, although it does have a chain turret. Where's that at? Okay, so we just became this turret right here. That is a little bit odd. That's actually kind of sick, though. A rear turret thing? That's pretty cool, actually. So, yeah, that is pretty sick. That is, guys, the flyable vehicles. Oh, that one just despawned. The flyable vehicles for River. That one also just despawned. Looks like we're getting a little bit low on the timer here. So, yeah, that is all the flyable vehicles for this mod. Let's go ahead and spawn in all these AI and check out these AI. So, these are the scenery objects that you can actually spawn in the Forge World. So, this is a elevator, I believe, for one of the frigates. UNSC frigates, I believe it's in the Ark mission. Tree big, place fixed. So this is a giant tree does not work. Floating platforms, you can't actually despawn this. It actually looks like it's part of the actual, you know what, we might be able to actually just spawn this out on the water here and just leave it. Are we able to do that? We sure are. So this is just kind of a floating platform here. I mean, I guess, you know, maybe doing like an assault or something on it. I mean, you can actually park your vehicles here too. But that is all that stuff. And now we got the AI. AI heroes. So this is 343 Guilty Sparks AI. Wow. He's already shooting me. You are being... So those are AI heroes. And here are the actual AI. So we got a Grunt, Jackal, Jackal Sniper, Brute, Chieftain Flak, Chieftain Hammer, Hunter. We got Marine. I don't know. Are they... Okay, they are. So they will fight. As you can see, the AI are fighting over there, which is pretty sick. That Marine got absolutely destroyed. Let's go ahead and spawn another one. Let's spawn a Flood in. Okay, 343 Guilty Spark. You guys can just see what I'm spawning in. Tank. And that is it. That is it for the AI. Wow, this is pretty sick. I mean, holy Jesus. Alright, so of course we got our Marine brother that just got killed. So they do have pathfinding, which is really sick to see. I mean, you can do AI battles at this point on Halo 3, which is pretty cool. So there actually is some weapons here that we got to showcase. So we got the bomb, which is right here, and you can just melee with it. That's about it. You can also just drop it as well, just like normal. You can also pick up the skull. It's just the normal as well. Melee. Throw it as well, or drop it rather. You can get the flag as well, which is pretty cool. You can drop that, and you can melee with it as well. Very cool indeed. And then we got the plasma rifle. This is the gold plasma rifle. This is what I believe the Arbiter's biped had, which is just basically a very fast fire rate. I think it's 3-round burst, actually. Yeah, very cool. And then we got the Prophet's Bane, which does not pick up. Oh, wait. Maybe? Yep, there we are. What the... So it is a third-person weapon, and it's a little bit weird with the glow on your screen a little bit there, but... I mean, hey, this is pretty sick. It's Prophet's Bane. Next up, we got the gold battle rifle, or Magnum here. Very fast firing, and it's also centered, I just noticed as well. Kind of like Doom. That is actually pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. Next up, we got the gold battle rifle, which is like, I think this is what Johnson had. Very interesting as well. So yeah, that is the BR. That is the Magnum. I think that is everything. So, oh, then we got the 7 wood golf club, basically. Pretty cool indeed. Guys, that is everything in Valhalla. Riverworld. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, of course, drop a like, hit the sub button, and that bell icon. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you in the next one.